What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to replace your inside and outside door handle. I'm going to be replacing mine with GMC Envoy door handles. These come out of the 98 through 2001 GMC Envoys that are this body style, not the 2002 and up GMC Envoy. I'll go ahead and start with the inside. The first thing we want to do is remove the inside door panel, and to do that we have to remove a Phillips head screw from here, and then two of these 7mm bolts from in here, right under this door grab. If you look, I'm not sure how much you can see in there. That right there is where this bolt goes. Thank you. So I've already removed those. Now that they're removed, hello little helper. Now that they're removed, mine is power door lock, so you can just lift up here and send that through there as you pop it off. The manual crank windows, there's a little clip just behind the crank that you can press out with, they make a tool for it that you just push out that clip. I've never actually used the tool. I've always used a flathead screwdriver, and it's a pain in the butt, but you can get it done. So you'll have to remove that door handle, or the that handle, to get it off. At this point, the door panel is ready to come off once I remove this and send that through while I'm taking it off. The only thing holding it on at this point are the little white clips. I'll show you those here in a second. Alright, so I just removed this handle backside and went ahead and slid this in here and started to pop loose the door panel. So you do have to kind of pull up and out at the same time to get this off. Here's the white clips I was talking about. This one stayed in the door. They actually are supposed to stay on the panel side right here. This first little slit comes into here. So I'll get this pulled the rest of the way off, like so. You can see the rest of those little clips here and there. Alright, the next thing we need to do is, well, for the outside door handle, remove this black cover. That's been removed, and then we'll have to pull back this weather plastic. Just stuck on there with some tar. Alright, to remove the outside door handle, we have a bolt right in here and a bolt right in here. This is for the window. These are the little bolts that I removed from the outside of the door handle. So at this point, the outside should be loose. I have not removed the clips from those bars. This is also a common problem with these trucks, is this outside handle will be loose on one side or something. That's usually all it is just one of those 10mm bolts that came loose and it's down in the bottom of the door. No, baby. That's a screwdriver to the paint. Don't put it on the outside, baby. Fix on the inside. So at this point, the linkage, I believe would be the right term for that, is still connected. Since this is the front door, it has the lock cylinders. Lock cylinders were a lot easier to change than I suspected. It's just a matter of putting a flathead screwdriver in there and pulling it out. I'll show you that. Before I show you how to change that lock cylinder, I'll tell you about the other linkage, which is for the handle itself here. I won't be able to show you, but it's the linkage comes all the way up to the top of, well, I could show you on here. Here on the handle, so here's the handle. We got to remove the linkage bar from right here, which is right through this hole, and I can kind of see it right in there. Just press back on it and it should push it out of this little clip right here. Alright, I lied. I think I'm going to go with the lock cylinder linkage first, so that I can pull it out a little bit more to access the top linkage. So I'm not actually going to remove the lock cylinder linkage because it actually connects to the lock cylinder. What I'll do instead, you can see this little silver area right here. Let's see what I can do here. You can see this silver area right here. If you just push in on this with the flathead, that's the only thing holding this lock cylinder in the door handle. So once you push that in, you should be able to push the lock cylinder out, and that way the bottom linkage is disconnected and we can pull this handle out a little better to access the top linkage, which actually controls the handle itself. Alright, I got the silver part pushed through that little tab, and as you can see, I've already kind of pushed it through here a little bit. I could have easily done it with my finger, but for video's sake, and only having two hands, I'll use that. And now that is completely disconnected and removed. Now I should be able to come down a little bit more. Maybe a little easier said than done, especially trying to record it. Up here is that linkage. It's easily accessed through here. I'm gonna have to mess with it a little bit to actually get that clip to disconnect. Alright, so I finally got it loose by pushing over on the linkage toward the outside of the door from the inside. But what happened was the little plastic piece stayed with the linkage. I'm going to show you the two to compare. So this little plastic piece stayed with the linkage instead of with the door handle, which I think I'm going to take advantage of and just remove this one and slide it back into this original handle, into this new handle that I'm putting on. So I don't know if that's going to work for everybody, but that's what's going to happen for me. Okay, so I got the plastic piece removed from the door handle I'm putting in. As you can see in here, that plastic piece or clip is still on the linkage, so that should make it easier. Actually, I should be able to just plug that in here, and then really all this lock cylinder needs is just push through, so it just, you know, slides right in and clips in just the way it came out. Then we'll put the 10mm bolts in, and the outside door handle is done. I'll show you when I get done. Alright, just got the outer door handle in and the linkage hooked up, but I don't have the 10mm bolts in right now. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll get started on the inner door handle. Alright, the outer door handle is done. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner looking. Now for the inner door handle. Alright, so for this one, it's actually pretty easy. So we have to take this linkage out. So it's just a matter of popping that clip up and pulling it out, or popping it out of the clip and then pulling it out. And then this side we can wait until we take the actual handle off. It's a little tricky if you don't know what you're doing, but super easy if you do. So there's no bolts or anything holding this on. What it is it slides on from the side. So if you look closely here, not sure I can get it to focus, but there's actually a raised point in the metal right here. So you have to come up with a flathead screwdriver or some sort of pry to bring this plastic up above that point and then slide it that direction. I'm not going to be able to video that, but that's the gist of it. So the whole handle slides in and out. Alright, I just slid this off. I wanted to give you a better view of how this is raised right here. And this plastic, how it slides right there. And then also catches right here. That's why I had to raise it. And I just raised this edge right here and pulled back pretty gently from here, and it came loose. So all I have now is the last little bit of linkage to remove, and I can start hooking everything back up the other way with the new handle. Alright, for reinstalling the linkage, I just wanted to give you a little close-up of that. It's the opposite procedure from taking it apart, so that's why I wanted to show you. So, putting it back in, I'm going to slide the center in and just spin this clip around. That's on. To remove it, I would have just taken this clip off and then I could slide the linkage back out. Fairly simple. Now I should be able to show you this slide in a little easier than I would have been able to show you the slide out. Again, here's that clip area. I'm just going to press back and slide over. Now it's clipped in. That's it. That's installed. I think I can leave it from here. I'll show you the finished product, which I already did on the driver's side. For the inside, the door panel is just reverse process. It can be a little tricky putting it back in. First of all, this white clip needs to go back on the door panel. If any of your white clips ended up getting stuck, just put it on the door panel side. You'll have to slide it here first because there's a little lip on the door panel, and then press in, but it gets a little tricky up in this area. It just takes a little moving around though. It's not really anything I can show on camera. Also, a lot of times these little white clips have trouble going back into where they're supposed to go because they might be bent, or if it's been removed a couple times, it can wear them pretty good. So you might have to lay down and get up there with your fingers and try to guide it to the hole a little bit better. Wow, that sounded awesome. Anyway, I hope this helped you guys. Maybe for more than just replacing the door handle, but maybe just fixing some stuff here and there. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I try to answer as quickly as possible. Alright, thanks guys. Till next time.